IFU logo, and this is the IFU color palette. So more blues added into this particular palette. When I go back to 2014, we crossed the $1 million mark for the very first time. In 3 days, we did $1.3 million.
Like everything Michelle experienced at the retreat that made her go, I need this. Could you, on an offboarding call, give that same experience for somebody to go, you know what, the mastermind is it?
I've always been a build the plane while you're flying kind of girl, and this was no different. And so now here I am, I'm at my live event. We enroll more than 100 clients into our programs, and I'm like, crap. We gotta service these people, we need some people. And so I quickly, without strategy, hired a bunch of people. It was everything Biggie said it would be. It was more money and it was more problems, and I didn't want anything to do with it. It made me disgruntled, it burnt me out, I was frustrated, and I decided to revert back. I sat in that for about 24 months. The whole time, God was nudging me and other people were nudging me, yeah, you gotta go bigger, you're playing too small. And I was like, nah, I'm good. And then eventually it got to the point where the whisper became a shout. And even inside my own spirit, like it was just no longer okay to muddle in mediocrity because that's what I was doing. Most people struggle with some form of imposter syndrome. I mean, I definitely have had my fair share of that. But I think that there's also this knowing that God does have my back, I can't fail, and there are people that are waiting for me right now.
I probably got exposed to Darnyelle in 2014. I attended a virtual Women Bringing Incredible Back conference that she was having. It was the first time that I recall really hearing from other women successful in business and sharing and talking about it. And so I was like, I need this in my life. She was authentic, regular, and I related to that, appreciated that. She was, she looked like me, but she knew and had journeyed ahead of me, and she was a woman of faith.
All right, y'all feeling good? All right, let's start with a word of prayer. Thank you, God. God, I love you, I honor you, I praise you. I thank you for everyone who's currently here.
I would describe Darnyelle as God-fearing, bold, hungry. She's just all around amazing.
Darnyelle's a beast. I can toss out an idea that I'm running through and she'll build it out like right there. And I'm like, man.
I think one of the biggest things I took away from working with Darnyelle is like, it helped me see just my business at a different level.
My intention is that every business in this mastermind gets to millions. Everything about the way, from the moment you wake up in the morning, you have got to be thinking like $1 million business, period.
Darnyelle shifted me to CEO because when I got to Darnyelle, I was entrepreneur, like just winging it. My taxes not aligned, nothing's together. I'm just here making some money. I don't know how, but I'm getting it done.
So it helped me shift from, all right, this is Marquel, this is the third, but like shifting into, now we have a team of like 30 plus people because I just see the business differently and as a company versus an online business. What I've learned from Darnyelle will continue to make me money 30, 40, 50 years from now.
2 years ago in 2019, God gave me 3 words, and those 3 words were next level everything. He went on to say that he will let them live on whatever level they settle for. And I was like, God, who are you talking about? And he's like, you're called to entrepreneurs, so we're talking about entrepreneurs. And so whatever level you're on is the level that you have settled for. In October of 2020, God gave me 3 new words, and those 3 words were move to millions. And then like 3 days later, he gave me the acronym for MOVE. And so the acronym is mastery, operational obedience, vision, and execution. And so he started building on what he said in 2019, that the reason people are on a level that they're settling for is because they haven't become a master, and not a master of your entrepreneurial skill, a master of alignment and tithing and surrender and obedience and forgiveness. You haven't mastered my core tenets, which unlock everything that you want. I want to teach people about the principles of God that aren't specific to any religious nature, so that you get the fullness of him. You get to experience all that he is in every way without some denomination's interpretation of what you can or can't do, and feel the spirit and the presence of the Lord.
I had started my business in 2012, but I was working as an interim CEO. That was actually what I wanted to do. I'm a problem solver. I like chaos. I like drama and coming in and fixing things and getting it ready for the next person, and then I'm ready to move on. But I didn't really have a business. I was a freelancer. And so I decided to do a weekend with her. At the time, I think I was putting in a contract that I was gonna bid on for like $10,000, and she was like, no, this is a $60,000 contract. And I was just like, you are $60,000 crazy. I mean, that was more than my salary when I'd left, working. So that was a year's salary. And I'm like, putting in, a contract. It's like, who does she think she is? Was the messaging that I was hearing, right, from my childhood. It's like, who do you think you are? You can't do that. How dare you? Just all of that negative thinking. So I put in, and I think we ended up booking it for like $45,000 or $50,000. They never knew I was gonna do it for 10. That was big. Yeah, that was big. I was just like, oh, okay, so I can do this. I'm thinking about my niece, my 3-year-old niece. We have a video of her, and her mom was like video recording her to sing a song. Let's just say it was the ABCs. And she's like, I have to show you. She's like, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And her mom, my sister, says, girl, do it right. Wow. And so she's like, no, actually she turned around and did it. The video's here. She turned around. Her mom said, girl, do it right. So she turned back around and she was like, A, B, C, D, wow. E, F, G, H. And she got to the end and she was like, I, J, K. And it was just like, oh my God, right? Somebody told us that the way we are, the way God designed us, wasn't wrong. Right. Yeah. And we believed them. Like, that's the thing, we gotta stop believing them. Because how he designed us, how he formed us was right. But we take on these messages because it's different, and it's supposed to be different because it's ours. It's not hers. Mine's not supposed to look like hers. But we looking at hers and saying something wrong with mine. Oh.
I believe that the scripture, Jeremiah 1:5, before you were formed in your mother's womb, God knew you and approved you. He called you prophet. He gave you a message to share with the nations. What that means is that before your mom and dad did the do, he already said, let there be, right? He already established the covenant, the purpose, the promise, the provision, the mission, the mantle, and the mandate of your existence. You're born, you're pushed out, pulled out into this world, full abundance, complete light, love, and benevolence. That's how you come here. It's all great in those first moments, but then you go home and you are immediately immersed into a world that A, you didn't ask to be in, and B, you have no control how it was before you got here. And instantly your abundance begins to chip away. And we take all of that on, myself included. We take it all on and we live in it for years until we begin to question, or we meet a person like me that is saying something that stirs a reaction in our spirit, that piques an interest, that we start to pull on that one thread in the sweater that is getting on your nerves, and you think if you just pull it really quickly, the sweater will stay intact, except you pull it and now you have this ball of yarn on the floor and you don't have a sweater anymore. Like, that's what needs to happen with everyone. It needs to be completely dismantled so that they can be rebuilt. What we need is way beyond the technical strategy. Like, we need so much more than that if we're really going to scale businesses, whether we're talking $1 million, even if I don't think you scale to 6 figures, but even if we're just talking about getting to the 6-figure mark, it is not just the strategy. If it were just the strategy, everyone would be doing it. The statistics would not be as they are.
The first year we were in business, we weren't able to give the kids Christmas gifts. To now have progressed where, you know, I fund international travel, and you know, we now have 2 college graduates, you know, just one more in college left to graduate. My husband and I celebrated our 25th anniversary in grand style with the family. When we got married, we were both in college. We had a 6-month-old baby. We did our honeymoon 2 hours away. It was over Labor Day weekend, and we were back in class on Tuesday. Very simple, extremely modest. I think, you know, we might have spent $750. And so to have the wedding of my dreams, why I'm still dreaming about weddings, I don't know, because I never had it. So I did want that. Just the life that we get to live now, the freedom, you know, the limitations are off of our life.
Our life is made up of the decisions we make. You ever think about not making the decision to work with Darnyelle? What your life would have looked like?
Oh man, Jude, you gonna mess up my makeup. That's not okay. I don't even have tissue. No, I don't think about that. I mean, my life has changed so much as a result of that decision. When you are the leader in your family, when you're already doing well, but it's not well enough, like, you know that it looks good to everybody on the outside, but you know on the inside there's more in you, is hard. And so to have found a place and space that pulls me to my full potential, yeah, I can't imagine what. I don't want to imagine. There's no reason for me to imagine that. So I just think that's a dumb question. But yeah, no, I don't think about that.